What is going on, guys? This is Mia. Since we just got some new Performage monsters announced in Animation Chronicle 04. Actually, I'm saying Performage monsters, but there could also be spells and traps. But yeah, anyways, before we go any further, smash the like, subscribe button, blah, blah, blah. Alright, cool. The first card is Performage Fire Dancer. Level 4, Fire Spellcaster, Pendulum Effect, Scale of 6, Pendulum Effect. Once per turn, you can target one Performage monster you control. This turn, if it attacks a defense position monster, inflicts piercing battle damage to your opponent. Nobody cares. Monster Effect, you can only use the first monster effect of this card once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can add one Performage monster from your deck to your hand except itself. The pool of Performage cards that exist at the moment is not the best. It's not like you can say that this is insane. Even though it's a Stratos, a card can't just be a Stratos and a bad archetype and then you know, call it a day. Otherwise, Skullcrobat Joker can search billions of cards. And even that card isn't like that degenerate. Like, Monkey Board is better because you don't have to commit your normal summon to it. Even though it says normal or special summoned, in the Pendulum deck, your best push is the Pendulum summon. At least it used to be. Now, at least if you get Electrum, it's gonna be different. But I don't think this is like super relevant. It's not. It doesn't seem that insane. At least, again, in modern standards of 2024. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle by a card effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field. It loses 500 attack. This is a bad effect, period. Yeah, so far this card's decent. It's a 7 out of 10 maybe, just because it searches, but the other two effects are just irrelevant, honestly. Alright, this one is Performage Water Dancer. So we had the Fire Dancer and now the Water. Okay, level 4 Water, scale of 2. You can only use both effects once per turn, of the Pendulum effects at least. If you control a Performage monster, you can special summon this card. Alright, that's pretty good. Yep, fantastic. When a monster declares an attack, you can target one attack position monster, change it to defense position. I mean, that's just not like insane. But I mean, if you can protect your IP Masquerena, so it's not like super bad. You can only use the first monster effect of this card once per turn. If this card is Pendulum Summon, you can add one Polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Yeah, it only searches the regular poly, which is not fantastic. You're not trying to play bad cards in your deck. It's a Pendulum deck, so you have to play just so many Pendulum monsters in order to be consistent in the first place. You can't really play hand traps. And then if you have to also play bricks like Polymerization, you're just making your deck worse. So I wouldn't really make a deck that's already struggling to be somewhat viable, you know, worse by adding more bricks to it. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can target one attack position monster on the field, change it to defense. I feel like we could have had this card in 2015, and nobody would have cared. I mean, it's good in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it allows this card to be a one-card Electrum, but Electrum is still banned, so it's not really like I can look at these cards and be like, yeah, this is insane. So I don't know, so far this is just so underwhelming, really. Okay, Performage Wind Drainer, level 5 Wind Spellcaster. You don't want level 5s in a Pendulum deck. That's usually really bad. Pendulum Skill of 4, which is the worst skill in the game because it means that you can't Pendulum Summon level 4 monsters, and level 4s are the best in the game. So Pendulum Effect. Once per turn, you can target one Performage Pendulum monster you control to activate one of these effects, so either reduce its level by 1, or increase this card's Pendulum Skill by that monster's. Okay, so at least it can go to more than 4, but you have to control another monster, so it doesn't do anything on its own. But usually, again, when you're playing Pendulums, it's not really like you have any one-card combos. You always play your hand out, so yeah, I'm gonna give this card a pass, but it's not... at least, hopefully it has like another really good effect. Monster effect, you can only use the first effect once per turn. If your opponent controls a monster or a Performage monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you cannot special summon monsters while this monster is on the field except Performage monsters. Yeah, this lock is really bad considering the fact that, again, Performage monsters aren't insane. It's just that we had Plushfire, Damage Juggler, Trick Clown, and Hat Tricker back in the days that were good in the Pepe deck. Pepe stands for Performapal Performage, and it was 2015. The format was completely different. Now, yeah, it's too old. Again, we could have had these cards 9 years ago, and I just don't feel like they would have changed anything at all. Anyways, if this card is special summon, you can reduce its level by 1. Okay, not too bad. At least it can become level 4 if you want to. Once per turn, you can change the levels of all level 4 Performage monsters you can really control to 5. Alright, cool. So you can make some rank 5s or some rank 4s with this card, but it just doesn't... It doesn't do enough. It's not a +1. Again, in a deck that's just inherently very neggy, it's not fantastic. Anyways, Performage Cup Tricker, level 5 Light Spellcaster, Pendulum Effect... Pendulum Monster, whatever. Pendulum Skill of 1. You can only use the first and second Pendulum Effect once per turn. You can target one Performage Xyz monster control, attach this card to it as a material. Yeah. If a card is added to your extra deck, you can add one face-up Performage Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. That is a Pend effect. I mean, you can scale that and Plushfire, and then destroy the Plushfire, and then get it back, and then, I don't know. First of all, we have to wait until Plushfire gets unbanned, but that's another story for another day. Monster effect, you can only use both effects once per turn. Again, a card could have 4 effects and still be bad. I just want to reiterate that fact. If every effect is super gimmicky and super slow, it doesn't make it a good card. If this card is in your hand, you can target 1 Xyz monster on the field, including your opponent's Xyz monsters. Detach 1 material from it, and if you do special summon this card, then 1 Xyz monster on the field loses 600 attack. This card would have been fantastic if it didn't target, because then you would have been able to completely destroy Purely going second, because they have Expurely Noir. You can detach the level 1 cat, and then Expurely Noir is no longer a quick effect, but it has to target the Xyz monster, and you can't do that when they have the field spell up. If it didn't target, if it was like the Goblin Rider instead, this card would have been remarkable. It was so close to being good. It would have been like a searchable out to Expurely Noir in a deck that completely folds to Noir, like completely. You also can't play like Board Breakers, Hand Traps, and stuff like that. You have to play like all gas, and your gas doesn't really amount to much. Again, you have to remind yourself that this is the big flaw of Pendulum decks. Anyways, if this card is detached from an Xyz monster and sent to the graveyard to activate that monster's effect, you can target 2 Xyz monsters you control, detach 1 from it, and detach 1 material from one of them and attach it to the other. So yeah, you're switching 1 material. That's just a really bad effect. I have nothing positive to say about this card, considering the fact that it was so close to being good, but they messed it up. Now we got a fusion monster. Wow, that's it for the monsters. What? Man, this doesn't feel like 2024. Anyways, Performage Trapeze, which, yeah, Entramage was the Japanese name, I remember that. In the OCG, they called the deck MM, so Entermage. Level 7 Dark Spellcaster Fusion, 2 Performage monsters. It's not like it was a super poly target, it doesn't matter. Your opponent cannot target Performage monsters you control with card effects, also they cannot be destroyed by your card effects. Okay, are they trying to turn this deck into like Melodious 2.0? Your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for an attack while you control a Performage monster other than, I guess, itself. Yeah, no, yeah, this doesn't, yeah. When an attack is declared involving your Performage monster and an opponent's monster, you can make that opponent's monster lose 600 attack. I hate the gimmick of making your opponent's monsters lose attack or putting them into defense position. It's just like the worst way to quote-unquote interrupt your opponent. And when you're locked under Performage monsters only, this becomes worse. The only monsters that you can summon don't even hurt the opponent. You definitely don't want to play this deck as a going second deck because, again, you need all gas to play. If you have like 3 cards in your hand and they don't work with each other, then you lose. And again, you want to play cards that are just like, that just generate you a lot of advantage when you're playing Performage, Pendulum in general, because the cards themselves are just, they make you neg inherently. Like, you need to neg 2 just to Pendulum summon because you need to place 2 cards in the Pendulum scales. So if those cards don't have good effects, then yeah, you only have 3 cards in your hand now. And with 3 cards, good luck playing through multiple hand traps or multiple interruptions in general. Okay, now we got Performage Shadowmaker, rank 5 Dark Spellcaster, 3 level 5 monsters. I don't know if this is really how you want to summon the card. There might be another way. I think I remember this card from the anime, though. I do remember watching where, I mean, because I know the guy who plays the Performage deck in the anime is an antagonist. I think he ends up, like, committing suicide or something. I don't know. I think he'd, like, jumped off a ship or something. Anyways, 3 level 5 monsters. You can only use the first and third effect once per turn. You can detach 1 material from this card and send 1 Performage monster from your deck to the grave. I can think of Damage Juggler and Trick Clown that you can send for nice advantage. Add 1 rank of magic spell from your deck to your hand. Any of them. Okay, sure. I mean, that is a good effect. I have nothing bad to say there. It's just that 3 level 5 monsters? No, you can't commit 3 level 5 monsters for this. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 Shadow Maker from your extra deck. This is not once per turn. Your opponent can go Veiler, and then you chain this, and then your opponent goes Veiler again, and then you chain this again, and you summon billions of Shadow Makers. So that's definitely not bad. That's pretty nice. And if the last material is detached from this card, you can special summon 1 Performage monster from your grave. Every effect is good, but the thing is, how are you summoning this? Because this deck, I don't think you're... I mean, again, it's just... You need 4 summons to summon this card. If you're summoning 3 level 5s, at the very least 4 summons, and then you search your rank of magic, and then you're gonna rank up this card, and then summon something that probably loses to Nibiru on summon number 5. There has to be something better that you can do. I think this card is probably better in decks other than Performage. Mill decks in general, like maybe like a Lightsworn deck where are you really gonna benefit from a rank of magic? It just looks like it's missing a little bit of something. Performage Trapeze High Magician, I don't think I remember this card. Alright, so another rank 5, 27, 22, 2 level 5 spellcaster monsters. I again just hate the gimmick of requiring level 5 5 monsters when the other level 5s, the only ones are this one and this one. Nothing else is level 5, and this one doesn't adjust the level of your other monsters. I don't believe so. So the other, like, the only way to really summon a rank 5 would be with this card, which is just trash. Unless, again, I'm missing something, but I don't think so. Anyways, it cannot be destroyed by battle by card effects while it has material. That's not a good effect. Your opponent takes any effect damage you would have taken instead. You can only apply this effect a number of times up to the number of materials attached to this card. I guess the only thing I can really imagine that would make this card broken is if you activate a card that makes you take 4k damage, and then another one that also makes you take 4k, and then you just reflect the damage to your opponent. But you're probably never gonna take 4k damage in Performage by any card effect. I don't think so. Anyways, if this card has Performage Trapeze Magician as a material, it gains this effect. I think I can already see where this is going. You can detach one material from this card. This card can make up to 3 attacks during each battle phase this turn. It can also attack directly, and 27 multiplied by 3 is 8100 damage. So you can kill your opponent in 4 summons by going summon 2 level 4s, summon Trapeze, and then rank it up, summon this card, and then detach, attack, 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 and it's game. Not super garbage, but not good enough because this is a going second effect. It doesn't fix the issues of the deck. I keep mentioning the same thing, but it's really just true. You're not going to be playing a going second Perform a Power or Performage deck ever in your life. Anyways, now we've got rank up Magical Force, quick play spell. You can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn. Target one rank 4 spellcaster exceeds monster in your grave. Special summon it, but its effects are negated. And if you do special summon one rank 5 spellcaster exceeds monster from your extra deck by using the first as material, attach this card to it as an additional material. The second special summon is treated as an exceed summon. You can actually use this card on battle phase in order to just inflict more damage. And yeah, it's a monster reborn. It ranks the monster up. It's not bad, but then again, like, what are you really doing in this deck? This deck just feels like it fulfills no purpose. None of these cards impress me, honestly. I haven't really said wow to anything. Like, the card that just has like the most, I guess, modern effect would be this one because it searches. That's pretty much it. But everything else is just like target a monster and attack and then put it to defense, search a polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand, another thing where you put a monster from attack to defense, adjust the levels, and then this is switch an exceeds material to another and then decrease the attack of a monster by 600, and then this is like your monsters don't die, but like who cares because there's so many ways of dealing with cards in 2024. If you can't make negates, it doesn't matter if your monsters are indestructible by battle by card effects. And then this is, I mean, this is a decent card for sure. This is not like super trash, but just whatever. And then this is also like, it's fine. Overall, no, this deck does not get a pass from me. Yeah, it's like a 3 out of 10 maximum, if I'm being generous, honestly. And I'm not even shitting on this deck on purpose. It's really just like the cards that are presented to me are just bad for no reason. Anyways, now we got Performage Plushfire, level 4 Fire Spellcaster, skill of 5. You can only use the Pendulum effect of this card once per turn. If you face a Performage monster you control is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can special summon this card and take 500 damage. Monster effect, I don't think this was once per turn before. And then monster effect, you can only use the monster effect of this card once per turn. Okay, yeah, so that is the errata. This card on the field is destroyed by battle, you can special, okay, it's the same effect, it's just that now it's hard once per turn for all of them. So that is the only thing that they really changed. This was unnecessary, in my opinion. I think they could have just at least tested out Plushfire unbanned first, and then see if it, you know, affected the game in any way. I honestly don't think it would have. I think this card was fine to get unbanned, at least without Electrum. I don't know if this card can coexist with Electrum. That is my only issue, but without Electrum, this card is super fine. Yeah, overall, really disappointed by everything, really. I mean, this card's errata is just bad. At least if it was like up to twice per turn instead of hard once per turn, would have been a little better, because the reason why Plushfire was broken is because you abused it over and over and over. Like, you destroy it and then you search another Plushfire and then you destroy it with Luster and then you trigger again and again and again and again. You were summoning more times off of your normal summon and your special summons off of Plushfire than like your Pendulum summon. So you could make, you know, all kinds of rank 4s before even Pendulum summoning, and once you were Pendulum summoning, it was just that additional push. It was that's what made the Pepe deck so nice back in the days. It had so many layers of play. Your opponent can have Solemn Strike and you can still naturally beat it. You can also make a Diamond Dire Wolf before Pendulum summoning, destroy the Solemn Strike, and then play from there, which was, you know, really nice. But now it's just the Pendulum mechanic is just not good in 2024 when it's just so easy to play with one card. The Pendulum deck still can't do that. The Pendulum deck cannot afford to play Hand Traps or Board Breakers or anything like that. You have to play all gas. I keep mentioning the exact same thing, but that is the reason why these cards are bad. It's just, if you play a Rank Up Magic card in a Pendulum deck, and you draw it, that is one less card to play with in your hand. You gotta think about that. And then everything that isn't broken, honestly, there's no other way to put it. Anything that isn't broken is by default garbage in pendulums, just because it's a worse mechanic. Master Rule 4 just completely made it worse. Completely insane before, but now it's just meh. Personally, I'm disappointed, but yeah, you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Peace.